You think you know every headline about Hollywood stars, but what you haven't seen are the secret love stories they buried from paparazzi and fans alike. In this video, we reveal 6 celeb couples who kept their romances hidden for years, defying every tabloid rumor mill. From an Oscar winner quietly engaged to a rock legend, to a superstar who pinned her wedding ring where nobody could spot it, each story will leave you craving more juicy gossip and wondering how they pulled it off. Buckle up for a journey through hush weddings, secret engagements, hush elopements, and shock reveals that only slipped out when someone let the truth escape. Let's dive in. Nicole Kidman and the rock legend Lenny Kravitz barely stepped into red carpets together, yet behind closed doors, they shared more than real estate. When Nicole moved into Lenny's Manhattan apartment in 2002 to renovate her own loft, no one expected romance to bloom. For more than a year, the pair arrived at events separately, never holding hands in public, and took painstaking measures to keep their engagement under wraps. Nicole even denied the ring she wore was for love, and Lenny's camp stayed silent when a magazine insisted they were an item. What makes this tale even more captivating is that Lenny's daughter was living there too, with Nicole serving as a considerate stepmom before the world knew. Years later, Nicole's casual remark in an interview confirmed what insiders whispered for decades, stunning fans and rewriting their histories in a single sentence. Next comes the whirlwind coupling of Cara Delevingne and Michelle Rodriguez, whose shared passion ignited in front of a basketball court. During a 2014 Knicks game, cameras caught Cara lighting up every time Michelle leaned in for a laugh or a kiss. The age gap and Michelle's unabashed intoxication created such a scene that onlookers felt secondhand embarrassment. Yet, for months cameras followed their every move as they partied across cities, refusing to call it quits until jealousy and exhaustion tore them apart. When details emerged about constant jetting between film premieres and late-night raves, even their closest friends admitted they had no idea how deep the affair ran. By the time Michelle refused to attend a private family wedding, the spark that once fueled them had burned out, leaving a frenzy of tabloid articles and unspoken regret. Then there's the raw, chaotic fling between Britney Spears and Colin Farrell. Born from heartbreak and rebellion, fresh from a public breakup that shattered her image, Britney met Colin on a club promotion night for a film shoot, and their chemistry resembled a street brawl more than a romance. They clawed at each other, kissed furiously, and fueled each moment with the kind of intensity that screams real love or disastrous folly. When Britney showed up at a premiere wearing a pajama-style shirt with studs, thinking she was coloring inside the lines, Colin publicly dismissed their dalliance as nothing serious. The aftermath was brutal. Britney's fragile heart was mocked with T-shirts that brazenly boasted sleeping with her, turning a vulnerable moment into a national spectacle. This roller coaster fling lasted mere weeks, but forever shifted how we see celebrity vulnerability. Our fourth hidden romance unfolds between Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, whose bond began long before movie sets and microphones. Few realized their relationship started on a chance flight years before they filmed together, and even fewer suspected they would secretly wed over a decade ago. When Eva referred to Ryan as her husband in a casual interview, fans were stunned to learn they had tied the knot years prior. Never announcing it or sharing a public wedding, they guarded their union with such fervor that only subtle tattoos and quiet references hinted at their true partnership. Together, they chose privacy over publicity, homeschooling their children and retreating from Hollywood's prying eyes. Their story defies expectations, proving that sometimes the biggest love can exist far from the spotlight. Stay tuned as we move on to uncover more unexpected pairings that shattered our assumptions and rewrote the rulebook for celebrity secrecy. Next, we journey to a clandestine ceremony in a tropical paradise where two unlikely stars exchanged vows under the veil of night, leaving cameras empty, handed and gossip blogs scrambling. Then we travel from gritty city streets to historic castles, revealing how one A-lister hidden romance persisted for years before a single photograph broke the silence. By the end of this series, you'll realize that beneath the glitz and glamour lies an uncharted world of hush unions and incredible stories waiting to be told. Buckle in, because the next revelations will redefine what you thought you knew about. Fifth on our list ushers us into the sun-drenched paradise of Byron Bay, Australia, where one unexpected couple chose to exchange vows without a single flashbulb. You've seen proposals staged on yachts and in palatial gardens, but this ceremony was different. A low-key barbecue beneath string lights, pizza boxes stacked like party favors, and even a box of chocolate cereal in place of a cake. While gossip blogs scoured the beach for clues, the celebrities in question slipped through the crowds unnoticed. No magazine spread, no staged photo op, just a handful of nearest and dearest bearing witness to a love story so personal they refused every offer to document a moment. The bride in this tale is a rising actress whose star was ascendant mid-decade, and her partner, a director she met on set. Once they realized their chemistry extended far beyond the camera, they quietly mapped out a ceremony that would leave no digital footprint. Invitations went out on paper cards, delivered to 50 guests. They followed rule: leave phones at the door. The ceremony unfolded on a grassy lawn overlooking rolling hills of eucalyptus and the Pacific surf in the distance. Guests nibbled on grilled prawns, sipped locally sourced wine, and laughed under a canopy of lanterns as a cellist played softly. The couple traded vows written on scraps of weathered linen, exchanged rings that fit snugly but left no reflection of the sun, and sealed their commitment with a kiss unseen by anyone but the waves. What happened next almost feels like a Hollywood prank. A year later, a single image appeared on social media: the bride, wearing a casual tee that read "just married in 2015, strolling through a cafe as if it were any other morning. Fans paused mid-scroll, double-tapped, and sent messages asking when and where they had tied the knot. The couple chose not to clarify. Instead, they kept living life exactly as before, shooting movies, attending premieres separately, and hints only in interviews when the topic veered toward personal milestones. On happier occasions, they'd share subtle nods to each other, matching bolo ties, a private tattoo on the ankle, or a vintage photograph tucked into a director's chair. The world began to realize that some of the grandest love stories simply refuse the glare of fame. Our sixth and final secret romance whisks us back to the eclectic streets of Los Angeles, then on to the windswept coastline of Northern California. Here, another A-list pair managed to keep a full year of courtship hidden, convincing even their closest friends that they were just roommates. When rumors finally broke, the truth sounded almost too dramatic for fiction. Late night writing sessions by candlelight, clandestine trips to antique bookshops, and whispered promises exchanged on foggy piers. Their social media profiles display vacation snaps and work highlights, but never a glimpse of the other. It took an anonymous tip to a leading tabloid to shine a spotlight on their story, sending shockwaves through Hollywood circles and redefining what secrecy can look like in this age. They first crossed paths in 2013 at a local deli, laughing over coffee and sharing anecdotes about fledgling careers. Neither suspected their off-hand conversation would evolve into a romance. By spring, they were taking secret flights to Bangkok, renting tiny guest houses where the only sign of their presence was a pair of footprints in the sand. The engagement followed 6 months later, yet they refused any announcement. Only 3 months passed before they married on a cliffside overlooking the Pacific, beneath a cathedral of Monterey pines. No photographers, no live stream. A handful of records played as they danced barefoot on a blanket strewn with rose petals. When a tabloid finally published a grainy photo of them locking lips in silhouette against the sunset, the world gasped. Not just at how stunning they looked, but at how thoroughly they had orchestrated their own myth. As our journey through hidden Hollywood romances draws to a close, one truth becomes clear: celebrity doesn't always crave the spotlight. Behind every headline, grabbing engagement or staged proposal, lies another universe of clandestine vows and whispered secrets. These 6 couples remind us that love can flourish in the shadows, away from intrusive lenses and endless speculation. They chose authenticity over applause, intimacy over Instagram, and personal connection over public performance. Isn't that the compelling story of all? As you keep scrolling past red carpet photos and magazine covers, remember, the real magic often happens when no one is watching. If these tales left you breathless, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Because in this world of buried truths, we'll keep unearthing the ones you never saw coming. The secrets just keep getting juicier. Brace yourself for 2 more Hollywood duos who mastered the art of hiding their hearts in plain sight. Until a slip of the tongue or a stray photograph tore away the curtain. First up is Kristen Stewart and her former personal assistant, Alicia Cargill. You may have seen Kristen star in blockbuster franchises or read glossy interviews about her red carpet romances. But few knew that behind the scenes, she embarked on an intensely private love affair. The pair first crossed paths in 2015, when Alicia was hired to help manage Kristen's hectic schedule. At first, they were just friends swapping stories over late night diners and driving through the California coast, bonding over quirky playlists and shared heartbreaks. But as Kristen filmed blockbusters and magazine covers flashed her image around the world, their friendship evolved into something far more profound. For nearly 2 years, Kristen and Alicia kept their relationship so under wraps that even their closest circle of friends didn't catch on. They avoided public outings, choosing instead to rendezvous in rented apartments or on private yachts off the French Riviera. No PDA, no joint social posts when they did appear together, like that one blurry snapshot arriving at LAX. Kristen's PR machine insisted it was a work meeting. Alicia, ever cautious, wore oversized sunglasses and hats, slipping into black SUVs before anyone could snap her face. The constant secrecy took its toll. Kristen once admitted in an offhand interview that she felt emotionally exhausted by the need to hide a love that was the most real thing in her life. The relationship finally surfaced in early 2017, when Kristen opened up in a rare Vogue profile, casually referencing Alicia as her partner in crime. Gossip columns exploded. Fans scoured old Instagram shots, retroactively examining comments and hashtags. Alicia, who had remained invisible for so long, suddenly found herself thrust into the spotlight. Kristen's career hardly skipped a beat, but the revelation reshaped her public persona. No longer just a starlet linked to famous exes, but a woman in control of her own narrative. Despite the initial media frenzy, the couple quietly announced they had split amicably, emphasizing that the most important takeaway was their friendship, which endures off camera. In the end, Kristen turned her romance into a statement about authenticity, showing that even the most public of lives can protect their private joys. Next, prepare for a shocker of chart, topping proportions, Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. This powerhouse pairing remained Hollywood's best, kept secret from 2016 all the way through 2022. At a Taylor Swift album launch party in London, Joe, an English actor known for his understated talent, rather than tabloid drama, caught Taylor's eye across the room. Their first conversation was reportedly so seamless that Taylor later said she felt she was sliding into something real. Still, their romance was never splashed across magazines. In an era of public proclamations and grand gestures, Taylor and Joe opted for cryptic lyrics and hushed whispers. For nearly 6 years, the world devoured every Taylor Swift rumor, from high-profile cameos to cryptic Instagram messages, but never pinned down Joe's identity. They vacationed on Mediterranean islands, rented chalets in snowy Norwegian fjords, and even built an art studio in Taylor's Nashville home. When Taylor tweeted photos, Joe's face was always just out of frame. When he attended awards shows, he arrived hours early and slipped in through back entrances. Tabloids speculated endlessly, but without a single official photo. Most theories evaporated as quickly as they arose. Their decision to stay private had strategic brilliance. Each time Taylor released an album, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, fans scoured lyrics for hidden messages, convinced Joe was secretly referenced in every line. The secrecy fed Taylor's mystique, turning her fanbase into amateur detectives. Industry insiders later admitted Joe's anonymity fueled more streams and ticket sales than any traditional publicity campaign could. Yet the payoff wasn't just commercial. Taylor and Joe cemented a relationship outside the glare of paparazzi, choosing to refine themselves away from public opinion. The world finally got confirmation in a rare interview with GQ magazine when Taylor referred to Joe as her rock, my North Star. The admission sent shockwaves, not because fans doubted their bond, but because nobody had proof until that moment. Joe, whose stoic public persona contrasted Taylor's theatrical flair, became a symbol of the couple's shared desire for normalcy. They've since parted ways, according to official statements, but rumors persist that their connection forged creative sparks, crucial to some of Taylor's most acclaimed songs. Two more secret romances, two very different love stories. One sealed in quiet friendship turned passion, the other charting global superstardom under the radar. What unites these couples is a willingness to defy Hollywood's prescription for publicity, proving that sometimes hiding away can create the most powerful narrative of all. If you thought you knew celebrity love, these stories remind you there are always chapters waiting in the shadows. Until someone finally turns the page, the next hidden romance unfolds between Scarlett Johansson and late night star Colin Jost. Two names we've seen share laughs on talk shows, but whose real-life love story remained under lock and key for years. Imagine the scene, it's 2017, and they're both in the building for a Monday night tape. The audience sees witty banter, but behind the cameras, a spark ignited on green room sofas. Their chemistry wasn't part of a scripted skit, yet they made a conscious choice never to parade it on Instagram or wink at gossip columns. Rumors swirled when they arrived separately and slipped in unseen, but their people stayed tight-lipped, and tabloids eventually moved on to younger gossip. Fast forward to a quiet fall evening in 2019. The only hint was a single photo of Scarlett on a date night in Brooklyn. Tucked in the corner of a street photographer's feed, observant fans pieced together details. Colin's trademark knit sweater, Scarlett's favorite cafes, and tweeted theories about a romance that had been blooming unobserved for 2 years. When they finally confirmed their engagement in 2020, it felt less like breaking news and more like uncovering a long, buried chapter in Hollywood's diary. Their wedding that October was a socially distanced affair at Scarlett's home, complete with custom masks, over-the-top face shields, and a menu of comfort foods rather than champagne flutes. The spectacle was so subdued that it barely registered on celebrity radar, proving once again that the biggest love stories sometimes prosper far from front-page headlines. Now turn your gaze to another powerhouse couple who mastered invisibility, Kerry Washington and former NFL star Nnamdi Asamaga. Unlike high-profile A-listers who splash every milestone across newsfeeds, these two orchestrated a year-long engagement so clandestine that even co-stars were left guessing. On June 24, 2013, they legally wed in a secret ceremony in Idaho's rustic foothills, complete with a private plane for family and friends, an officiant who doubled as a soccer coach, and a reception beneath pine trees rather than a red carpet. Kerry, at the peak of her scandal fame, pinned her engagement ring to her underwear for 3 years, sleeping with it every night to keep it hidden from prying eyes. Only when their wedding license became a public record did whispers begin, and even then, they denied a thing. Until Kerry finally admitted she and Nnamdi treated their vows as a mission impossible. They retreated afterward to a remote Tanzanian island for their honeymoon, where the only souvenirs they collected were seashells and private memories far removed from paparazzi's zoom lenses. For years they attended premieres and awards shows as solo acts, causing fans to wonder if they were even together at all. Then, in 2018, Kerry made a rare comment during an interview, casually referring to Nnamdi as her husband. The admission was so offhand, it felt almost accidental, and that slip of the tongue revealed a lifetime of moments shared in shadows rather than spotlights. These two couples, Scarlett and Colin, Kerry and Nnamdi, embody a common thread we've seen throughout our journey: the conscious choice to silo romance away from the relentless glare of fame. Instead of choreographed photo shoots or staged engagement announcements, they let their relationships unfold organically, under the radar, away from judgment. Their decisions turned each engagement into a private covenant rather than a promotional event, demonstrating that love's truest form sometimes thrives somewhere no publicist can touch. Yet each story hinges on an inevitable reveal: a glimpse of a ring, a casual mention on air, a street photographer's lucky shot. These tiny breaches of secrecy become seismic, shattering illusions and rewriting celebrity narratives overnight. In the case of Scarlett and Colin, a single tweet ignited global curiosity. For Kerry and Nnamdi, a legal document punctured the bubble of anonymity. In both instances, the reveal was neither orchestrated nor expected, but it proved this simple truth: no secret, however deeply buried, remains hidden forever. By now, you've discovered a pattern: deep connections, elaborate precautions, and then a slip. The moment that flips private passion into public spectacle. It's the heartbeat of every tale we've shared, and it underscores a paradox at the core of celebrity romance. The more fiercely you guard your privacy, the sweeter the victory when the truth finally emerges. We've unveiled 8 intoxicating tales of secrecy and shock. 6 couples who defied paparazzi, hid rings in underwear, eloped in deserts, and danced barefoot under moonlit skies, all in full knowledge that one day someone would tell. But one question remains: what is it about secrecy that electrifies us? Why do we hunger for behind-the-scenes glimpses even as these couples cling to silence? Perhaps it's our own yearning for authenticity. In a world awash with filters and facade, every clandestine romance offers proof that love still has corners left unexplored by PR machines. When a superstar chooses intimacy over exposure, It sparks hope that connection needn't be transactional or performative. When an Oscar winner stops denying a ring that never truly left her finger, she reminds us that truth, once spoken, liberates. As we reach this turning point, take a moment to reflect on these narratives: 6, 8, or maybe more. Hidden affairs that slipped out in whispers and photos. Each story is a microcosm of Hollywood's contradictory impulses: showmanship vs. solitude, spectacle vs. secret. But above all, these couples prove that the most enduring vows happen behind closed doors, far from eager flashbulbs. We're not done. Next, in our final stretch, we'll explore the psychology behind our obsession with secret romances and unearth how sleuthing fans and relentless media shape the very secrecy they chase. Plus, one last finale: a modern couple who shattered all conventions by releasing their union exclusively via a charitable announcement that had nothing to do with themselves. It's the ultimate secret that turns the spotlight outward, transforming personal joy into collective purpose. Stick around for that surprising send-off, because in the world of hidden celebrity love, the grandest surprises often come when you least expect them. At the heart of our fascination with secret celebrity romances lies a deeper psychology that reveals far more about us than about them. We crave the thrill of hidden worlds, peeking through cracks in glossy facades and imagining intimate moments beyond our reach. Each discovery of a buried wedding or a clandestine engagement sends a rush of dopamine through our social feeds. The secret becomes a currency of excitement, trading whispers and theories, until the truth finally cracks open. We are both spectators and detectives, scanning every frame and fraction of dialogue for clues. This loop of intrigue is self-sustaining, our curiosity driving media outlets to dig deeper, while we devour every new crumb. Fans have become amateur sleuths, piecing together vacation snapshots, fashion choices, and cryptic social posts. They scrutinize ring selfies, analyze timing of flight check-ins, and scan venue guest lists for familiar names. This real-time detective work blurs the line between private lives and public spectacle. Each fan theory sparks more theories, creating an echo chamber where rumor can feel as credible as an official press release. In this feedback loop, the mystery becomes the story itself, overshadowing even the most glamorous red carpet premiere. Meanwhile, media outlets amplify every rumor, packaging speculation as must-read clickbait headlines. They tease audiences with partial quotes and pixelated images, promising revelations they rarely fully deliver. Tabloids churn out dozens of articles on every possible rendezvous, ensuring that secrecy itself becomes the headline. The more they hunt, the more stories they create, feeding the public's insatiable hunger. Even networks and talk shows capitalize, constructing elaborate segments on what really went down behind closed doors. Despite this relentless scrutiny, celebrities continue to sequester their most important moments, mastering an art form of camouflage. They draft strict protocols, no shared posts, separate arrivals, and nary a telltale Instagram story to betray their bonds. This paradox of publicity creates a magnetic pull, drawing audiences in precisely because secrecy is so rare and tantalizing. Every hidden ceremony becomes a legend, whispered about at dinner tables and comment threads long after the details emerge. Perhaps the most unconventional reveal belongs to award-winning actors who chose purpose over pomp by sharing their union exclusively through a charitable announcement. In a move that stunned both fans and Hollywood insiders, they bypassed media outlets entirely, sending details of their wedding attached to a donation appeal. Supporters were invited to contribute to children's hospitals in lieu of gifts, instantly propelling their cause across newswire services. The announcement read like a mission statement, outlining their love story, alongside a heartfelt plea for community support. No staged red carpet, no celebrity gift registry, just two partners transforming personal joy into collective impact. Within hours, headlines shifted from gossip columns to philanthropy pages, celebrating an intimate bond that prioritized others over self. They had exchanged vows weeks earlier on a remote Greek islet, pledging allegiance under olive trees and candlelight. Photographs exist, but only in an emailed PDF distributed to the charitable foundation, never surfacing on social media. The ritual was stripped of celebrity spectacle. No designers crafting white gowns, no paparazzi chasing limousines, just genuine vows beneath the open sky. Guests arrived on sailboats and kayaks, carrying homemade bouquets and contributions for pediatric wards. Journalists were given embargoed facts and a single portrait, but only if they agreed to highlight the charity first. With one bold stroke, they flipped the script on fame culture, proving that love announcements need not be about self-congratulation. Critics praised their approach as revolutionary, noting that it shifted the focus from glittering images to genuine human connection. Social media users applauded the generosity, using hashtags to amplify hospital fundraisers rather than upload selfies in bridal wear. The celebrities themselves described the experience as liberating, free from staged optics and empty applause. By amplifying a cause instead of calendars, they redefined what an announcement can accomplish in the digital age. Their story underscores our own capacity to reshape narratives, transforming gossip into genuine goodwill. As we peel back the layers of secrecy, it becomes clear that every hidden romance is a mirror for our own desire for authenticity. In an era defined by constant exposure, these love stories remind us that intimacy can survive and even flourish behind closed doors. They challenge our assumptions and spark hope that real connections still exist beyond curated feeds. Stay with us for the final chapter, where we'll bring these themes full circle, tying every secret revealed back to our shared human yearning for true intimacy. Up next, we'll explore how these shadowed unions influence pop culture trends, relationship norms, and the future of celebrity privacy, revealing that behind every truly hidden vow lies a lesson for all of us.